Drivers, start your engines!
Rogers going to overdrive the corner. Almariego did as well, though. Carson Gum did not. He's going to get a big run here, as will Cole Deaver. But, ooh, they're going to be 3 wide again. Oh, no. Give room. They didn't. Save it, save it, save it. Oh, what a save! Wow! Almariego, with a little help from Cole Deaver, got the car righted again, and we almost had the same kind of incident that brought out the second caution, but what a tremendous job by Vince Almariego, and credit Cole Deaver for helping the 42, and I don't really think anybody got much damage out of that. We are under caution, but you can see no damage to the right side of Almariego, no damage to the left side of Deaver. That's got to be one of the best saves I've seen all season. And Zach Rogers going to inherit the lead still. Nobody was able to challenge him there as they were 3 wide for second. I don't even think there's any damage on Carson Gum. We got to go back and give that replay its due. That was amazing. That was the wreck that didn't happen. They had to throw a caution because the 42 was sideways in front of the field, but my goodness, that was amazing. And you know the incredible thing about it? The drivers involved didn't lose much positions on track. Carson Gum still crossed in second, Almariego in 6th, and Cole Deaver in 7th. When they came back to the caution. Look right there, you can see they were 3 wide. And watch this. I was hoping that was going to be the case, as the 42 was able to just kind of door bang the 08, and he kept his car straight. They were able to make it through the right-hander heading onto the straightaway. That was amazing. I mean, in replay, it doesn't give it justice. When you saw it happen live, you could see just how fast they were going. Imagine sliding like that and having the reaction time to be able to figure out, okay, if I can hit this guy square, I can keep my car straight. If Vince Almariego leaves today with a good finish, he needs to go right over and thank Cole Deaver for helping him out, keeping that car straight, because by all rights and purposes, with what we saw for our second caution, that 42 car should have been wrecked in the steel guardrail down at the bottom of that hill. And somehow he wasn't. Caution's out for the 3rd time today for a wreck that wasn't a wreck. Let's go back for the restart. Lights should be going out atop the pace car here momentarily. I believe they just have. Vince Almariego, after that tremendous save, he did bring his car to pit road, though, because obviously with going into a slide like he did, he was on the asphalt section when the car was sideways, so probably came down, got 4 fresh tires to avoid flat spotting anything under this next restart. So those 10 drivers that stayed out, they're still keeping track position. The top 9 are those that stayed out at this point. Carter Friesen, the most recent driver to come to pit road, lining up in the 10th position. So Rogers, Gum, Shelton, Wright, Lopez, Deaver, Parker, Brommer, and Mitchell all still have yet to come to pit lane. You got to wonder, if we continue to have cautions, if they can maybe save enough to make it the entire 25 laps without having to come to pit road. But if you're freezing on back, you can try charging the front as much as you want, because they all came to pit road back around lap 10, lap 11, something like that, so they should be good to go on fuel. Zach Rogers, of course, got eliminated from the playoffs after the first round, so he's out there just trying to get W's. Behind him, though, Carson Gum trying to lock himself into the round of 8. Then you got Jessica Shelton back there in 3rd, Trey Wright in 4th. Those two have kind of been struggling this season points-wise. Both of them are still looking for their first win on the season as well. So you can bet Carson Gum is going to have a lot of hungry drivers around him. And Jordan Lopez right there as well, another playoff contender. It's going to be kind of hairy for those two playoff machines, because a lot of guys around them are looking still for their first win of the season. For Cole Deaver, Phil Parker back there, they're still looking for their first wins of their Duracell Cup Series careers. As off the corner, the pace car hits pit road. We are past the halfway point, as the green flag will come back out on lap 14 of 25, giving us a total of 12 laps to go here at Lime Rock. Nobody out of the race after this last caution. Green flag back in the air. Looks like Ryan Brommer's going to be the first car up front to make a move. It's going to be himself and Jack Mitchell battling it out for around the 8th position. Oh, we got a car off course. That might have been the 0-1. I think Jack Mitchell may have overdriven the corner. That's going to lose him a lot of track position. He's going to get back on track, though. Still green. Carson Gum going to get onto the back bumper of Zach Rogers, trying to intimidate him here. Rogers overdrove the corner, so did Carson Gum. Shelton did not. She's going to get a run on Carson Gum for second. Ooh, and Carson may have gotten the tire barriers right there. That was close. It's hard to tell, as Lopez going to move into fourth place now. Jordan Lopez had a great run last week at Hillside, finishing in the top 10, put him second in points coming into this one, and so if he can leave both Hillside and Lime Rock with good finishes, he may be able to lock himself up a spot already in the round of 8 going into Arizona next week. Let's see about some other playoff contenders. There's Carter Friesen. Friesen gave up the lead to come to pit road back under the second caution. He's been able to fight his way up to the top 5 now, just took 5th place away from Phil Parker. So he is charging, and remember, he is good to go on fuel, so he doesn't have to worry about saving at all. Next highest playoff contender would be Jose Mills. Ooh, a little bit of a hornet's nest right there coming through the underbridge area. Mills right now was scored in 16th. Let's see where he crosses the line this time, as he's been cutting his way through traffic. Now has moved his way to the 12th position. I see some damage there on the front of William Brock. I don't know who he got into the back of, but he's still running in the 15th spot. Oh, Austin LaPlante going to get off course. Oh, and we're going to have a caution. That's Keith Batson back there hitting the steel guardrail. That's another playoff contender. That will bring out a yellow. Caution's going to come out here with about 9 laps to go. No caution. I thought we were going to have one. Normally we do when a car hits that steel guardrail, but no yellow. And that's another playoff driver, a driver that came in 7th in the standings. And K Mathews was off course as well there behind the 39. I don't know if he hit anything or not, but we are still green. And now the caution is out. But I don't think it was for Batson. Oh, we had a wreck down here. And it was Trey Wright in the 28. That brings it out. And another playoff contender involved. This time the 99 of Levi McIntyre. A couple of Blue Oval Automotive cars must have gotten together. So the caution is out with 9 laps to go. Zach Rogers, Carson Gum, Jessica Shelton. Right now this strategy seems to be working out for them with staying out. They've been able to pace under 3 cautions so far. I don't know if that's going to give them enough fuel to make it to the end. The bad news for them is Carter Friesen's worked his way up to 4th place already. So as the yellow flag flies yet again, let's go back and see all those incidents that took place. Some of them brought out the caution and some of them didn't. As Zach Rogers continues to lead the field here, we are at less than 10 laps to go though at Lime Rock. And the incredible thing to me is the drivers around the cutoff line are the drivers that are having issues here today. Batson 7th in points, Qualls 8th in points, Dylan Young 9th in points. I mean, this is uncanny. And it's definitely going to set us up for some wild action next week at Arizona, both on track and in the point stands. But there you see Batson just overdrove the cushion a little too much. LaPlante did the same thing, but he was able to save it. Batson, though, went too wide and right directly into that steel guardrail. K Mathews right there going to do the same. He didn't hit it quite as square with the middle of the car. He actually hit it more with the left front. But I believe the 09 was actually smoking coming to pit road as well, so that's probably his day done. No doubt about it that that number 39 of Keith Batson, his day is over too. And that is really tough for him because you consider the fact that Dylan Young's running at the back of the pack. James Qualls is out of the race. If Batson had gotten a good run today, he'd have opened up a pretty nice gap between himself and that cutoff line, but that is not going to be the case. He was only 3 points ahead of the cutoff line coming into today's race, and so tough break there for him. Let's now see what happened over in the final corner between a couple of teammates, Trey Wright and Levi McIntire. And this is going to be interesting team meeting after this race between the BOA teammates. Lopez got the wall, came across the track, got into, well, actually he kind of got tagged there by Trey Wright. That sent Lopez back into the steel guardrail. And then watch this as Trey Wright slides down into the entrance of that right-hander, that final corner. The driver that's going to get him is going to be the 99 of Levi McIntire here in a moment. Right there. He's already to the inside of Adam Garcia. He's got no choice. He's committed to that lane, and he clobbers into the driver's side door of his teammate Trey Wright. And I'm not seeing any of these drivers that came into this race in the cutoff line being able to make up any ground. Dylan Young's got damaged. LaPlante's got damaged and lost some ground as he went off course. You see Jack Mitchell there at the rear of the field as he went off course. And now Levi McIntire looks like he may be out of the race. Those drivers I just mentioned were 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th coming into this race. Right now, 7th through 12th in the standings for our drivers have met issues here today. So it is not going to be a whole lot changing, I don't think, going into Arizona with the drivers that have had issues so far in this race. And there's still a little ways to go. Those drivers 1st through 6th in standings, they aren't safe yet. This race ain't over. Green flag will come back out. 7 laps to go. Zach Rogers, this strategy of getting track position and these cautions helping him save fuel seems to be working. He's going to restart ahead of Carson Gum and Jessica Shelton. Green flag back in the air. Carter Friesen, they're in 3rd, or make that 4th rather. Phil Parker 5th. Matt Haas, Charles Belding, Ryan Brommer, Cole Deaver, and Jordan Lopez. That is your top 10. Lopez apparently did not come to pit road despite hitting that steel guardrail as we saw back on the replay. And Deaver is off course in the 09. And he brought it back on track. Brought it back on track safely. He did not hit the steel guardrail. So we are still green. We should document after that wreck that we saw take place, both Keith Batson and Levi McIntire are out of the race. So that is 3 playoff contenders back behind the wall. You got a number of playoff contenders at the rear of the field, damaged and off the pace, like Jack Mitchell and Zach Rogers getting the wall there. Jack Mitchell and Dylan Young. As Rogers is going to have to lift through that corner. He's going to lose 2nd to Friesen, 3rd to Shelton, possibly 4th to Phil Parker. We did complete a lap under green as playoff contender Carson Gum leads playoff contender Carter Friesen here at Lime Rock. Jessica Shelton has now moved into 3rd place. She doesn't care about that these guys are up there battling for a championship in the playoffs. She just wants to go to victory lane here this season. Contact between Gum and Friesen. As Friesen moves Carson Gum up the track. Remember, Carter Friesen's good to go on fuel. It's a little bit of a question mark for Carson Gum, who's going to get it off course a little bit there. That's going to bring Jessica Shelton to his back bumper in a battle for 2nd. And now Carter Friesen can mash the throttle and try laying down laps now. He's got the freshest tires as well. He came to pit road back on the 2nd caution. Worked his way from 11th, now up to the race lead through 2 other yellow flags. And Friesen trying to pick up what would be his 3rd win of the season. After winning earlier on this year at Atlanta, and of course winning the first playoff race at Richmond. Got a little off course there, did Friesen. Got to keep his car on the track right now. I mean, he's got the grip underneath him better than Carson Gum does. So if he can just keep the car on track, he's got a good chance of keeping Carson Gum in his rearview mirror. And how about Charles Belding? That young rookie just made his way by Jessica Shelton. That was for 3rd place, and now he's trying to reel in his teammate for 2nd. Matt Haas back there now in a battle with Jessica Shelton for 4th. And Phil Parker's trying to hold off Zach Rogers. That's a battle for 5th place. Actually make that for 6th. As Belding hounding the back bumper of his teammate in the 19. I think Carson Gum would be smart to just let him go. Doesn't want to get wrecked. Especially with the fact that a lot of playoff contenders have had issues here today. Belding was bumping Carson Gum through the S's there. Getting him a little loose. Belding trying to become the 4th rookie to go to victory lane this season. Carson Gum overdrove the corner. That's going to allow Belding to get to his inside here through this right-hander, going underneath the bridge. Belding's going to easily make the pass, and now Carson Gum's got Jessica Shelton battling him for 3rd place. This time by, it's going to be 3 laps to go. Does Charles Belding have the car to reel in Carter Friesen? And we're going to have a caution. Caution's going to come out. And I think we're going to get a 1-lap shootout. They're taking the caution now. Pit should be open next time, and we should go green with the white flag. It'll be a 1-lap shootout to decide this race, and Ryan Brommer brings out this caution, along with the 24 of Nathan Hudson and the 11 of Cole Baker caught up in this one. First time in a while we've not had any playoff contenders caught up in the wreck. But I'll tell you right now, the last person who wanted to see that caution might have very well been Carter Friesen, because that now brings Charles Belding right to his bumper, and I'm pretty certain we're going to go back green for one more lap. Let's go back and see what set us up for this one-lap shootout. It is, I believe, our 5th caution of the day here at Lime Rock. Well, the driver that initially started this wreck did not get the most damage out of it. This is the battle we saw for 6th place between Phil Parker and Zach Rogers. And right there, Parker's going to get into the tire barriers, gets hit by A Kolano, bounces into the steel guardrail, going to come back across the track. He's going to get Ryan Brommer, and Brommer is the car that actually spins out. And it's actually Brommer is the one that's going to get hit. You see Phil Parker is able to keep going, and nowhere for Nathan Hudson, the 24, to go. You can see him hard on the brakes, the car sliding underneath him, and nowhere for Cole Baker in the 11 to go as well. Tough break for both of those drivers. It's a downhill section. You go onto the brakes, and the brakes just don't engage because you're going downhill. It's not as easy as stopping when your car is just completely horizontal or if it's going up a hill. When you're downhill, those brakes lock up, and so tough break there for Hudson and Baker, as well as Ryan Brommer, who at the time was running around the 9th position. Doesn't look like those cars will be finishing this race, but it's definitely going to set us up for a doozy of a restart. Carter Friesen, trying to make his way into the next round of the playoffs, going to have to hold off a very hungry rookie in Charles Belding. We have no lap machines, so we don't have an extra lap of pacing, so we should be going green this time by with the white flag out. Lights, for some reason, are still on top of the pace car. We'll see if they go out here momentarily. They should. And they're not. I'm not understanding why they aren't. See, the caution lights are still flashing too. We should be going green this time, based off of what we've been doing recently. I don't know why we've got this extra lap of pacing. You can see Cole Baker, Ryan Brommer, Nathan Hudson are going to finish out of the race. And when they come around this time, it's going to be the white flag. There are no lap machines. I am not understanding why the lights are not out atop the pace car. So it is looking like we are not going to go back green. And not saying that Carter Friesen doesn't deserve this win. He definitely does. I just think that everybody should have been entitled to see this thing finish under green flag conditions, especially with the fact it was road course yellows. But the lights are on still atop the pace car, so we will not go back green. That is a tough, tough break there for Charles Belding and Jessica Shelton, who really were going to maybe have a shot at this win if we had gone green. I don't understand this call by the officials. I don't really necessarily agree with it either. But Carter Friesen, however, is going to be very happy with this call, because with him winning this race, he's going to be locked into the next round of the playoffs, along with Cody Llamas. They'll both be going into Arizona, knowing that they are moving on to the round of 8. White flag displayed over the hood of Carter Friesen. This race will end under caution.